Welcome back. This is Rigor from Rigor's Garage and Boat Basin. Today we're in the garage. We're going to look, got a 2006 Ford F350. Had to redo the running boards on it. Turns out I drove all the way from Florida to Illinois, and the running board was merely laying on the bolts. So this is the vehicle, 2006 Ford F350, and the problem was the running board. If you take a look, there are 4 bolts in the bottom of the running board on the side of the vehicle, and it turns out that the running boards were merely laying over the bolts. Basically, the running board had pulled out of the bolts and the brackets. So here's the tools that I used for repair of the vehicle running board. Basically, this is a nutcert driver, and the nutcert tool is here. Basically, it comes apart, and as you see it moves the bolt in and out. There are different bits that you can use. They're in, for example, this is 5/16 18, so you can change for different size threads. I have a collection of nutcerts. This is kind of what they let's get this in focus. Here's what they look like. They're little, basically what you do is you put them on the end of the tool and you close the handles and they expand into a hole. There is a certain size. I even have a larger selection here. Here's one that is an M8 metric. What you do is you screw this on the end like so. Hang on, let me get this properly on the end. As you can see, when the nutcert is properly on the end, the handles are spread wide apart, and then what you do is you push the handles together, and you will see the ridge on the nutcert expand. And so there's what you've got. Basically, it attaches itself into the hole that you've drilled with a friction fit. And in this case, this is a M8. You put an M8 bolt, very similar to a 1/4-20, in the nutcert. In this case, this went in the bottom of the running board, and the bolts went through the bracket to hold it on. Now, of course, another valuable tool is the impact driver. Impact driver, really great. If you don't have one of these, you need to get one. Probably one of the, I've got both, this is a 1/2-inch drive, I've got a 3/8 adapter, and I've also got a 1/4-inch drive. Wonderful tools. Make sure you get the one with the lithium batteries on the bottom here, because they last and hold their charge. That's the tools for repairing the running board on the Ford. So I removed the brackets from the underside of the truck. Basically, each bracket had 4 M8 bolts. They were put into Tinnerman clips on the inside of the body of the truck. Basically, a Tinnerman clip. You have two holes, and you slip the clip into one, and it's got a, in this case, an M8 nut on the back of it. It's kind of springy, so you slide it over in front of the other hole, and that's what hooks in the bracket. And then on the bottom of the running board, basically I just picked that up and dropped it on the ground. It was just sitting there. I didn't really film the removal of the bracket because that involved a lot of gnashing of teeth and swearing. However, I will say that I had a lot of new Tinnerman clips put in, a lot of new bolts. Matter of fact, all the bolts are new because of corrosion. And but that was the process. I removed each of the brackets, the three brackets holding the running board on. Each of them were very rusty. A lot of rust scale buildup, plus some dirt. I removed all of this. I cleaned the brackets with a needle scaler. Basically, you connect that to your air compressor, and there's these little needles that sit and bang on the metal and remove, basically bust up the rust. Then I took my angle grinder and basically ground the surface of the metal to get any remaining dirt and corrosion. I then covered the bracket with some black Rust-Oleum paint. Okay, I moved on to working on the running board itself. Flipping it over, there are 8 holes that originally had a form of nutcert in them. Something had happened, especially on the driver's side, that had caused the nutcerts to pull out of the holes. First thing I did was put the running board on the concrete floor, take a big hammer, and flatten out the metal around the hole. Then measuring it, it was perfect for a nutcert for an M8 bolt. I put the nutcert in, as I've shown in the tool section. Basically, I put a nutcert in each one of the holes. If you take a look, you will see in this picture there is one nutcert placed in the upper left-hand hole. And that basically provided the mounting for the running board. Okay, I replaced all the bolts. Basically, I put the brackets on the truck first, putting M8 bolts into each one of the brackets. Now, I left the brackets loose. The brackets have bolt holes which are slotted. They're slotted where the bracket attaches to the truck, and they're slotted where the running board goes. So I just put the brackets on loose onto the truck, and then I laid the running board on top and started putting the nuts in for the running board. Once all of the bolts were inserted, I tightened up each one of the brackets kind of one at a time, kind of going bracket to bracket to bracket, back and forth to snug up each one of the bolts in each one of the brackets and in the running board. This is the completed running board. You see that the plastic covers over the brackets have been painted. Nutcerts have been put in the bottom of the running board to reattach it, and all of the bolts and mounting hardware replaced to resolve the problem. Now it's nice and sturdy. Well, that's the process. Thanks for showing up.